Well, hello and welcome again to the Pastor's Study. You know, in chapter 4, we see Tobiah and Sanballat. These men come again to the forefront. These are two of the three men that had begun mocking the very idea that they would rebuild the wall. And now the work is beginning in the wall, and I want to read a couple things that they say. You know, as they watch the wall going up, he speaks in the presence of those Jewish individuals, and he says, "What are these feeble Jews doing? Do they think they can restore the wall themselves?" I think he's pointing out and saying, hey, you guys are not stonemasons. Hey, you guys are not skilled at this idea of building walls. Why, in years past, we would hire skilled individuals to do this kind of work. Who do you think you are rebuilding the wall? And then another thing that he says, can they offer sacrifices? Well, the whole idea of securing Jerusalem and the idea of returning to worship freely God and to do what God called you to do and to be secure in this city. He's like, hey, what do you guys think you're going to do? You think you're going to return to God and return to the old ways of being obedient to the law? Oh, foolish people. And then he says, can they finish in a day? I think that's an implication that the work was going along at a good rate. The walls were visibly going up at a steady pace. They were not being lazy. They were being diligent. They were being hardworking. And Sanballat, watching from a distance, from the outside looking in, could see the level of the wall rise. And so he said, what do these people think they're going to do? Build it in a day? What kind of hilarious thing do they think they've got going here? And he mocks them. And then Tobiah comes along and he adds on some mocking. Why, he says, this wall is so shaky, if a fox ran into it, if a fox jumped on top of it, it would fall over. This wall is not going to hold up. And he too begins to mock those that are being diligent. And our challenge is to avoid caring about those that mock us and be diligent to the task that God has called us to do. And don't worry about the others. Do what God has asked you to do and don't worry about anybody else. It's hard sometimes, but it's the right thing to do. Till next time in the Pastor's Study, goodbye.